Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew and you're once again watching Drew the Theme Park Dude. Today's video I'll be giving my thoughts on this year's Halloween Horror Nights event at Universal Orlando Resort. Before I begin, it would mean a lot if you could hit that subscribe button as well as the like button to support the channel. Now, off to the video. This year marks the 4th year that I've attended HHN at Universal Studios Florida. This premier Halloween event features 10 haunted houses with some themed after your favorite horror properties, with being video games, TV shows, movies. Really, sometimes they have music artists, really just any horror-related property. And then also includes some original houses made by Universal Creative. 5 horrifying scare zones throughout the park, live entertainment, exclusive food offerings, and much more. This year is the 32nd year of the event, and in my opinion, it's the best HHN I have attended. I've been going since 2019, and that was previously my favorite year, but now, this year just tops that. It's close, but I really do enjoy it. I'm going to get more into why towards later in the video. But yeah, I just really did enjoy this event. It's amazing, and really just every house has great scares, set design, except for one, but I'll get back to that later. The zones this year all connected to an icon, which is really cool, Dr. Oddfellow, who may just be my favorite HHN icon. Here's a quick rundown on the history and his connection to the scare zones. So, a young Dr. Oddfellow crash lands on an island filled with creatures in the Jungle of Doom Expedition Horror Scare Zone, where he's on a search for a jewel for his immortal power, which he made a staff that he carries around with, that when you go into the other zones, you see a much older Oddfellow with that staff with the immortal jewel. He then attended a music festival in Vamp 69 Summer of Blood Zone, where you can see a bunch of zombies, vampires, and a bunch of really cool stuff in that zone. Oddfellow then unleashed all of his creatures in the Shipyard 32 zone, which we get to see a bunch of past Horror Night monsters in, which is really cool. The final 2 zones occur once Oddfellow has returned, where he harnesses the Zodiacs in the Dark Zodiac Zone, because that's where he gets all of his power, his immortal power from the jewel, is by having the Zodiacs. I don't know the full lore there, but there's probably more behind that. And then he also greets guests in the Dr. Oddfellow collection of horror scare zone as you enter the park. So we get more lore inside the his own house that he has this year, Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins, where we travel at his circus, and we can see all of his oddities. It was actually one of my favorite houses, and we even get to see Oddfellow kill Jack the Clown, which is the iconic HHN icon that was there years and years ago, and he also appeared most recently at HHN 30. Hopefully in the future you'll get to see Oddfellow and Jack face off once again. So that basically is the lore behind our icon this year. Absolutely love how everything is connected and definitely escalates this event from past ones that I have attended. I really hope in the future we get to see more of these original icons and potentially some of our favorites come back. But yeah, the first event I attended was in 2019 like I said, and they had some amazing houses such as my all-time favorite Horror Nights house, the Universal Monsters house, and Ghostbusters. But this year I believe has an even better total collection of houses. First off, we have one of the largest horror IPs of all time, Chucky. Even though this is the house I did not like, it still offers a fun original story and draws crowds. We have Stranger Things Season 4, which is arguably the most popular house and has incredible set design and scares. The Last of Us is great for video game fans, as well as fans of the TV show, even though it's based on the game. And it's like walking through a video game. Really unique house, and I've never seen anything like it in the years I've gone to the event. Next up is the scariest house, Exorcist Believer, which you guys are seeing a clip of the trailer for that house right now. That house was terrifying, by far the scariest house at the event, really the only house to actually scare me at the event. I still get scared, but this was the one where I was actually like terrified walking through. So yeah, definitely scary, and it is based on a movie that isn't even out yet, because the movie comes out October 6th, so at the time of recording, you know, at the time I've walked through the house, I haven't gone through it yet. I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, so very interested to see where they go from there. And like how the movie affects the house experience, because I'm pretty sure the house spoils a decent amount of the movie. Interesting choice there. But lastly for the IPs, we have Universal Monsters Unmasked, which is a gorgeous and terrifying house, and my favorite house this year as of right now. This house has some of the best sets I've ever seen in a Halloween Horror Nights house, and you really get to see, you know, every monster of these underrated monsters like Phantom, Hunchback, Invisible Man, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You get to see them all really shine, so that's really cool. But yeah, the event also has 5 original houses, one based on a former fan favorite attraction, Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate, where it has 2 different endings, where you get to actually choose Thy Fate, the Icon's House, Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins, and then 3 originals that also offer great scares, Yeti Camp Clown Kills, Blood Moon Dark Offerings, and The Darkest Deal. Stay tuned for a full house ranking that comes out at the end of the event. I'm going to try to drop it around Halloween time, so yeah, be on the lookout for that video. And what I'm saying right now could be completely flipped in a month from now, because I'm going to go to the event several times from now till the end of the event. So this ranking or like these reviews right now could be changed by the end of the event, so just keep that in mind. Now with the live entertainment, this year is also top notch with an incredible show, Nightmare Fuel Revenge Dream, a Megan horde that walks around the park and does a whole dance routine multiple times throughout the night, and the Death Eaters in Diagon Alley, which do a little show before running around and scaring guests. Really cool experience. But now I'll answer why this is my favorite event. It's simply the most fun and creative I've seen Universal ever be. From, Dueling Dragons just being a gorgeous set design house and fan service all over, to more scary houses like Exorcist, and a just really, really awesome IPs like Stranger Things and The Last of Us. Just a great mashup of houses. The entire lore behind the icon is connection to the scare zones, and the overall entire event is great. Having something for all types of horror fans and also the things for people to do that aren't necessarily scary, but still give off horror vibes, such as the David S. Pumpkin character, the whole peacock bar, the multiple wacky food offerings, the Megan horde, Death Eaters, the shows, just a lot of different things for people to do, and so much more. Halloween Horror Nights 32 is not only the best haunt event in Orlando, but the best Horror Nights event I have attended. Only thing I wish were maybe an extra IP focused zone, maybe outside of all the lore stuff, just to maybe bring in more recognizable characters, and also the Chucky house to have been, slightly better, just because right now it's not really it. And my other major complaint this year is please limit the number of express passes, or move the merge points to be a little bit earlier in the queue, because this year they moved the merge points to the very end. So if you're in standby line and there's a lot of express, you're not moving for maybe every 5 to 10 minutes. And if you're in The Last of Us or Stranger Things, you might not move it except for every 10 minutes, because it all goes down to the person that is merging them. And if that person, sometimes it really just depends on who's doing it. And sometimes they do an excellent job at merging it balanced, and I can see Express go in their time as well as Standby. But then there's been times where I've seen Standby very far backed up, and then Express is going. But then I've also seen it flipped where Express is barely moving and Standby is going. So it's affected both ways. It just depends on who's doing it. I really hope they can figure that out. Thank you to the scare actors, creative team, and just everyone who brings the event to life for a great time this year, and cannot wait for the many more times I'm excited to experience this event during the remainder of the haunt season, as it is only the end of, it's only September, so we still have, over a month and a half left of Horror Nights this year to get to experience it. And if you're hesitant about going, I would definitely recommend you 100% go. This year, they truly have something for everyone and really goes above and beyond to ensure you are barely ever disappointed. This year gets a 9 out of 10 for me, because it just really is top-notch Horror Nights. I'm sure if I've been going longer and longer, maybe there's a past event that was better than this, but I've been talking to people who've been going for 10, 15 years, and this is still either their favorite event or up there, in the top 2 or 3. So for me personally, out of the 4 that I've gone to, 2019, which was Ghostbusters 90s theme, HHN 30, which was after the COVID year, and it was with all plexiglass, and it was Jack the Clown's Return, and then last year, which was with the Pumpkin Lord. Those were all great years, don't get me wrong. It just, this year really just topped it in my opinion, and cannot wait for the future. Thank you so much for reaching the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a massive like and subscribe for future content. More Horror Nights videos are coming soon to the channel, as well as other Halloween videos that you will not want to miss out on. Thanks again, and have a great day, everyone. See ya. Bye.